Has there ever been a time where the Rays trade someone and 100% of the fandom is like, yeah, this is the right choice. We're literally better. I don't know, because this one is pretty stark comparison here.
It's pretty glaring, and I don't think Savali.
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the Locked On Rays podcast, your daily podcast covering everything Tampa Bay Rays, from game analysis to player interviews. We've got you covered with all the latest news and insights. My name is Kevin Weiss.
And I'm Ulises Sambrano,
bringing you expert analysis and passionate discussions about our beloved Rays.
So whether you're a diehard fan who vividly remembers Longo's Game 162 just like us,
or you remember the early Devil Ray days of Wade Boggs or Carl Crawford,
we are here to break down every play, every trade, and every milestone. In fact, this is our 6th season covering the Rays daily.
And every season, they've gone to the playoffs. So grab your favorite Rays gear, settle in, subscribe to our Locked On Rays YouTube channel and other podcast platforms. And you can also find us on X and Instagram at Locked On Rays.
We should tell you that today's episode of the Locked On Rays podcast is brought to you by Tax Network USA. Did you know that it's never too late to resolve your tax issues with the IRS? Don't wait. Reduce your tax debt and get help from a team of licensed tax professionals. Call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/locked-on. Kevin, it was a bad weekend, bud.
It was a bad weekend, a sweeperoo and a Sunday clunker to boot. I guess there's something going on in Dallas or Arlington that the Rays are not a fan of, because they have not played very well there recently, as the Rangers, who aren't doing too well themselves this season, just mopped the floor with your Tampa Bay Rays.
I mean, it's at the point where, like, I was going to say, was it even competitive? Like, I mean, it
wasn't Sunday.
I mean,
and there wasn't a lot of competitive offense going on over the course of the series either.
It wasn't good. And I think one of the things that bothers me the most is that it came right after a very big high.
Yeah.
It came after a very big high. You've won 5 straight series. You're feeling good about the team, which is something kind of new for this season, and then swept. And right. I think the contrast of what had been going on before and then the letdown that was this series, isn't it just a microcosm of this whole 2024? 3 steps forward, 4 steps back. Oh my God, 7 steps forward and 8 steps back. Like, it's maybe, and again, there's plenty of baseball left. Yeah. It's early July. It's not even All-Star. There's plenty of baseball left. It's not early. Don't let anybody tell you that it's early, though. It ain't. But there's plenty of baseball left. Those two things are different. Man, maybe this is who they are, though. Like
a 500 team, under 500 team. Well, it's funny you mentioned they had won 5 straight series. Then they get swept by the Rangers, and now they're 2 games under 500. I believe 44 and 46. And guess who we have before the All-Star break? We have the Yankees and the Guardians.
Oh, really good teams, you mean? And I know that people are like, the Yankees are not a good team. They've gone like 5-14 or whatever it is lately. All right, fine. So they're in a tough stretch. Are the Rays in a better stretch than that right now? Right. We just got swept. By the way, our buddy Evan Klosky put up this tweet. Nathan Eovaldi lost a game to the Rays on July 31st, 2021. And then since then, 7 innings, 1 earned. 7 innings, no earned. 5 innings, 2 earned. 5 innings, no earned. 6 and a third, 4 earned. Okay, and he still won that game. 6
Yeah.
innings, no earned. 6 2/3, 1 earned. 7 innings, no earned. 7 innings, 2 earned. By the way, those 2 bolded ones on screen, and if you're not on YouTube, those 2 bolded ones are in playoff games. So in the last 57 innings that he has pitched against the Rays, Nathan Eovaldi has a 1.57 ERA. I don't want to hear it. I am as big as Rays fan as anybody.
Yeah.
And I have no qualms in saying probably one of the worst trades we ever did was getting Jalen Beeks for Nathan Eovaldi. I'm not saying that we should have gotten somebody better. I'm just saying I'm really
Right.
upset that it was to the Red Sox, and now he has been doing this to us ever since then.
Yeah, and Eovaldi's been one of the more consistent starters in the game over the last 5-6 seasons. Got a couple World Series titles to his name, couple All-Stars to his name, and he's still going strong. He's been in the league for 13 years now. So, and something tells me he's not slowing down. He might even be getting better as he ages there as well. All that said, I know it's a gloomy Monday here if you're a Rays fan. There are some positives and some other notables besides the win-loss record that we want to underscore. For example, Ulises, Shane Baz made his return debut 2.0, and if I may say so myself, looked pretty solid. Definitely better than what Aaron Savali looked in his debut with the Milwaukee Brewers, where let's just say he walked 3, gave up 3 homers, and allowed 4 runs in 5 innings for the Brewers against, it is the Dodgers, but still not the most exciting debut if you're a Brewers fan right there. But they need pitching. They're putting a calling card out there that we will take you're sick, you're poor, you're tired. If you have some sort of major league experience and you can stay healthy, we need you. So
yeah, no, it was great to see Shane return. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 6 punchies. So it was just a quality start. But like you said, Savale basically pitched more pitches, less innings, and allowed more runs. This team is better with Shane Baz than Aaron Savale. So I don't think, has there ever been a time where the Rays trade someone and 100% of the fandom is like, yeah, this is the right choice. We're literally better. I don't know, because this one is pretty stark comparison here.
It's pretty glaring, and I don't think Savali, because I believe the max innings he's pitched in a season is around the 120 mark. So I feel like there's a point of regression or running out of steam. We had mentioned it on Friday's show of him not being able to go deep into games, or he was faltering deeper into games, and that could have been a conditioning stamina issue. And someone astutely pointed out that he's never really looked in the best of shape. So I will be really curious to see how he holds up for the remainder of 2024 for the Brewers.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor. Going back to Shane, though, used his 4-seam and the slider mostly, threw about 10 curveballs, 4 changeups. The only thing was his strike command of the zone. 53% of his 92 pitches were strikes. So definitely a little bit uncontrolled. If you see his pitch chart, it was a little bit all over the place,
Right.
Around the strike zone. So maybe that's jitters. Maybe that's, getting the rust off with major league competition, big crowd that Friday evening. Yeah. So just a lot of emotions for him coming back. So you can put it to that, but as a factor. But even with all of those, he still pitched better than Aaron Savali. So no, I'm really happy to have Shane Baz back. By the way, the first time Shane Baz gets on the mound in 2024 after Tommy John, he delivers a quality start.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Savali had 3 quality starts only with the Rays this year. Only 3.
Yep.
Though last time Aaron Savali had a quality start with the Rays, was before April 16th of 2024. So I am adamant about this. This is a better team now with Shane Boss.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think you're right on the fact of jitters, a lot going on. It's been such a long layoff in time since he had pitched in the majors. And I think that's something that he will have to adjust to. And I will be curious to see if the velocity holds up because he touched 99 multiple times. And if there's something to be ecstatic about from him going forward is some of his out pitches and the way he was able to retire hitters like Corey Seager and Nate Lowe and Jonah Heim, four-seam top of the zone. He could also use the slider down in the way. He also, I think maybe the most impressive pitch was fooling Adolis Garcia in the bottom of the fifth inning on an 84-mile-per-hour curveball. That just, it was magical stuff how that ball stayed in the zone and Adolis was just totally fooled. He backed up on the pitch because he thought it was coming his way, and then it's in there for a strike. So, and it's still remarkable that Shane Baz, believe it or not, is only 25, and he was the throw-in of that Pirates Archer deal. Not very often that the throw-in is a first-round pick with elite arm talent like him. And now the big key is the Rays. Next time he's on the mound, you have to give him a little bit of run support. 3-4 runs, all we're asking, and maybe that turns into a W there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anything else on the Shane Baz front? I would imagine this could and should be the first of many quality starts for him going forward. And I would imagine, I know some of the clubhouse was maybe a little bit let down that Savali was leaving and the leadership and experience he provided, but it should also be a little bit of a mental boost of you have this nasty arm coming in, and by some of the things I've read on Shane Baz, pretty likable guy, jives pretty well with the clubhouse and just the way he goes about his business. And I think him having his stoic nature on the mound is settling for the teammates playing defense behind him. And hopefully that brings some good vibes going forward because certainly the Rays need it as well. All right. We have more to discuss, including the Rays do have their all-star. We'll tell you about that next. All right. It is time to tell you about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. So all you have to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. So get in on the action daily with your friends and become part of the Prize Picks community today. And you need to pay attention to this. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It is that easy.
Here at Locked On Rays, we pride ourselves on getting you the latest news for the Rays. Whether it's the offseason, the draft, the team has just gotten swept, it doesn't matter. It's year-round. And you know what else is year-round? Collection season. So just because tax season is over, it doesn't mean the IRS will stop coming for you for unfiled taxes. Don't let the IRS target you. Let the licensed professionals and tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. So again, they have 14 years of experience, an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. So whether you owe taxes, have complicated matters that require tax planning, call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. And be sure to mention Locked On Rays at checkout, and you'll receive a $250 discount off their services. Again, call 1-800-549-1000 or visit tnusa.com/locked on today.
Are you watching Fox Sports or ESPN on your TV all day? Have to turn down the volume with all that shouting? Make the switch to Locked On Sports Today. Locked On Sports Today brings you can't miss analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. So just wanted to note this. I know that, look, we could dive into the nuances of the Rays getting swept. It sucked. I really don't want to talk much about it. So I want to get into some of the more uplifting items on this organization. And one is that the Rays have their possibly, it looks like, lone all-star. I guess we'll have to wait and see how many players drop out, and perhaps that opens a lane for Jason Adam or
And
Yandy
stop.
Diaz.
No. And stop for Jason Adam. Punto. There's no, I'm sorry. Like I'm gonna put my foot down. I'm gonna put my foot down here. Like this team, how they've played, individual contributions, Isaac Paredes and Jason Adam are the only
No Yandy.
candidates.
Just
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that might rub off some Rays fans the wrong way. Like, how can you say that about a Rays player? Like, bro, all-star should mean something.
Yes.
And the way that Isaac Paredes and Jason Adam is head, neck, shoulders, elbows, knees, ankles above the rest of the team.
Oh yeah, for sure. And fortunately or unfortunately, I guess unfortunately for Jason Adam, is he doesn't have the save numbers to his name, but he's gotten the Rays out of some very pickly situations. And hey, do you need us? Key situations in the 6th inning, 7th inning, sometimes just as important as what Pete Fairbanks does in the 9th inning. But Isaac Paredes, I think we can all agree, is the runaway here. On the team, he's first in homers, first in RBIs, tied for first in doubles, first in hits, third in games played, second in walks, first in OPS, first in slugging percentage. And the other thing that's notable about all this is, now I don't know, I guess with the All-Star game, where he'll be positioned, if he'll play some third, some second, some first. He's got some pretty tough competition to earn an All-Star spot based on some of the other noteworthy names that are in the American League. Like Jose Ramirez is always going to be in the conversation. Rafael Devers is always going to be in the conversation. Jordan Westberg is probably going to be a guy that's in the conversation for the next couple years as well. And it brings up, I guess, a couple points here. One, and we've talked about it often, where the Rays stand right now. Where are they? What are they? What do they want to be? Is Isaac Paredes a part of the future? Do they see him as a building block for 25, 26, 27? Or do they see him as a guy who, oh my gosh, he's an all-star now. He will be making quite a bit more money in arbitration in 2025. Is this the time or the juncture to cut bait and sell high and try to maximize the value for him?
And that's how they got him, Isaac Paredes, by maximizing the value that they had from Austin Meadows.
Correct.
And it seemed like a sudden move of like, no, but Austin Meadows can give you so much more. So that could be the same kind of circle that happens to Isaac. His life cycle with the Rays ends just like it started, with a sudden trade of somebody who's an all-star and you think could give you more. I see all of the merits of selling high. This guy that has put up amazing, strong numbers, like you're saying, with the competition that he has in the American League, endeavors, Jose Ramirez and Westberg now. It's tough, and he got in there with his big power bat.
Mhm.
In a situation, Kevin, where for the first 2.5 months, who the hell is protecting him? No one. What? Richie Palacios is protecting him? Jose Caballero is protecting him? Johnny DeLuca is protecting him?
Right.
No, fam. He's doing this without protection at all. That's amazing
Yeah.
what he's doing this year.
He was
So
like LeBron on those early Cavs team where it was just him running the show, basically.
give it to LeBron. Exactly.
Yeah.
Feed it to him. It's really incredible. Now, of course, it would hurt to lose Isak. You would hope that by trading him, you'd get some really nice pieces back. But the thing is, you never really know. You
Right.
never really know if they're going to pan out or not. So obviously, it's going to be a risky move to deal him. And I know there's the arbitration argument. You know, he's a Super 2. So obviously he's going to get more expensive rather quickly,
Yeah.
quicker than other guys would. So in this All-Star nomination, I mean that's just going
Right.
to get him paid even more.
Yeah, unless the Rays have some inner workings of, hey, let's give you a long-term team-friendly contract extension. But if he says no to that, maybe that's the conversation of, hey, we tried. Now it's time to
Yeah,
move on and move away from you.
because he could be the Yandy Diaz replacement, could he not? Could he not
Correct.
move to first base and now you open that lane for Junior Caminero?
100%. Yeah, I think that's the idea of who's the next guy to go. I would think that Paredes in his age curve is in a better position than Yandy Diaz and Brandon Lau, and you could even argue Randy Arozarena.
You know, we all love sports. We all love them so much we never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down in the NBA, we get fewer games, and baseball is now in the middle of the season. FanDuel lets you keep sports going whenever you want. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. Just like us, Locked On Races Daily. Well, they're helping you daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head over to fanduel.com and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball.
As well. So it makes sense that he would be a building block. But of course, the Rays have the financial end of things. And also, maybe they do get wowed by an offer. It's funny because yesterday, as I was driving from Atlanta to Florida following the July 4th holiday, a podcast host, not with Locked On, but another network, I presume, asked me, hey, would you take this deal for Isaac Paredes? And the deal was Cole Young and Harry Ford. Cole Young is the Mariners' unanimous number one prospect, shortstop, second baseman, ETA of 2025. Harry Ford is the Mariners' number two prospect, catching prospect, if I may add, and his ETA is 2025. So I read the tea leaves, I did the math, and I said, so the Mariners offer their two best prospects for Paredes straight up, where the Rays are at right now, sitting under 500. It would be tough for me to say no to that, quite frankly.
It would be tough for me to say no, especially because you just touched on something that it's been a sore spot for Rays fans since the non-Buster Posey draft in '08. It's the catching position. You're telling me that we can have actual hitting catcher for the next 6-7 years?
That'd be nice.
Would be nice. Would be really nice. Yeah.
For sure. All right. And also just credit to the Rays for going back and getting Isaac Paredes for Austin Meadows. I think that was an unpopular trade at the time because Paredes had a couple cups of coffee here and there with the Tigers, didn't really get his true opportunity. And then the Rays also got a competitive balance pick out of that. And I think that credit needs to be given to the Rays scouting and coaching staff for saying, hey, we see a guy in Isaac Paredes. If he just changes a thing here and there, if he works on just when he wants power, just pulling to get and generate that power, we'll be good. And that's exactly what Paredes did. He listened to the insight from Chad Mottola. He took it to heart, and you see where he's at right now. He's a perennial 30 home run guy, and it doesn't look like it's going to be slowing down anytime soon. All right, so congrats to him. We will wait to see if the Rays have another all-star here. Now we will move on as we're running up against it. Some listener comments on the Rays' dreadful weekend series against the Rangers. Tell me how you really feel. Well, we got some of that in the last day or so from listeners and fans of the Rays. Chris at Dingers TV said, this series cemented our fate at the deadline, sellers/retool for next year. Jake Stokes says, confirmed we are a middle of the road team. Would like to see some big moves that would help the 25-26 teams make a deep run. Dustin Payne, our buddy, says retool for next season. Sam Bayless out in Australia says Alex Jackson has to go. Sean Armstrong too. Extend Yandy. So maybe Yandy gets a follow-up contract extension to his existing one. He did go 3 for 3 in a game over the weekend. Ty McCann says, dang, we stink against the Rangers. I think we've always stunk against the Rangers, at least in the Rays era. Me to my wife yesterday. I still think it rings true. Yeah. Ty, that's a good one. Roman says missed opportunities, a lot to be optimistic about, strong pitching, lack of clutch hits. Mark says we need a day off. Well, the Rays do have a day off on Monday, thankfully. And Gary Gregory says devastating season ender. So the season's over.
For Gary, it's over.
Yeah. He's shutting it off. He's ready for football season.
Well, okay, Gary, I understand the negativity. It's fine. You can wallow in the sweep in the sweep. It's fine. Now, the last comment I will read is a little bit more uplifting. Okay. I won't read it all, but it says they're firmly in the wild card chase. Assuming the Orioles and Yankees both make it in, the Guardians looking to be penciled in as the Central champions, and the West, a 2-team race between the Mariners and Astros. That leaves 2 available spots between 5 teams: Rays, Red Sox, Twins, Royals, and whoever finishes second between the Mariners and the Astros. That is the way that it is now. It all could change. And you could say, wait, why is at Elephant 2024 being so happy? Well, because that comment was from Friday. So Elephant 2024, I need to see your comment today on the comment box after the weekend series.
A bad series can change the minds of a lot of people, that's for sure. But all you can do is regroup. And how many games do the Rays have left? Another 70 plus or so.
Something like that.
There's still time, season's not quite completely over just yet. All right. Thank you all for listening. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.